Hi everyone, I'm Shelja from Simply Wow Services. I hope you all are taking good care of yourselves. Simply Wow is an AI-driven SaaS platform that aggregates and helps collaboration in the cosmetics, aesthetics, and the wellness ecosystem. So today we have with us a renowned clinic in Bangalore, the Vitals Clinic. It is one of the finest dermatologist clinics in the country. Located in the capital city of Bangalore at the BTM layout, Vitals Clinic offers high-class skin and hair problem solutions. The clinic is run by a well-experienced and an expert team of dermatologists. Vitals is a standardized acronym for vitiligo, injectables, transplantation, aesthetics, laser, skin surgery, or skincare. Dr. Hari specializes in dermatology, dermatosurgery, vitiligo treatment, cosmetology, and hair transplantation. He has completed his medical education from the prestigious Bangalore College. His zeal and passion has won him several awards such as Best Outgoing Postgraduate in the Dermatology Innovation Award at the World Congress of Cosmetic Dermatology. Beauty is something that the society has put so much emphasis on it being admired and sought after. And today we are discussing about a very important topic on the acne and the acne scars and how do we treat them. A statistic report says that 54% of the women and the 40% of the men over the 25 years of the age are suffering from the acne related problems. So acne and the acne scars can be a serious concern if not treated. So let's hear from our expert dermatologist the reason for acne and its best available treatment. So I welcome Dr. Harish for this presentation.
Hi, thanks for the brief introduction about myself and our clinic. So, hi everyone, I am Dr. Harish Prasad. I've done my MBBS, MD in dermatology and fellowship in dermatosurgery. As Shailja was telling, the acne is one of the common skin problems. Everybody should have got acne at least once in their lifetime, be it male or a female. So today we'll see what all acne is about and what treatment we do at Vitals Clinic.
So Dr. Harish, what is acne? Is acne and pimples the same?
So acne and pimples both are the same name for a condition what we commonly called as acne vulgaris. It's also called as zits in other most commonly used words also. Now, why people get acne? What happens exactly in acne? You can see the diagram here. This is the normal gland which is present. Like, this is the hair follicle, and next to the hair follicle, there will be a sebaceous gland. Okay, so this is the one which is of interest today for us because it is the main source for acne. Now, what happens in acne is like once there is blockage of this opening or the pore, and there is hypersecretion of sebum, that is the oil secretion from the sebaceous glands, then there is a blockage of this gland. Once the blockage of gland occurs, the oil secretion happens inside or within, and this acts like a food for bacteria. And once the bacteria infects, you can see the bacteria here in the red spots. Once they infect, there is an inflammation and patient gets acne. So this is what is called as acne or pimples or zits.
So is there any age group that are prone for acne?
See, acne actually can occur in any age group. Starting from the small children, as I have shown in the diagram, it can happen to the newborn till the person is around 50 plus, or in females, the menopausal acne or like perimenopausal acne, we call it as. Now, if you see the neonatal acne, this also classically presents on the cheek area, as you can see in the photos. And this is mainly due to the hormonal influence of the mother, which is present or like which is transferred to the child. Majorly, the male child, a boy child, will have more of this features than compared to the girl. And we just manage with topical medications. Most of the time they are self-limiting, but sometimes they require medication. And the next you can see here, this is the teenage or the comedonal acne. And next we have the acne vulgaris of the adolescent's acne or adult or the hormonal acne. So when somebody asks what is the age group which is specific for acne, it's not like very specific, but however, adolescent acne is the most common form of acne which we see in our daily practice.
What are pores and how it can be treated?
Pores are like, see, pores are nothing but like if you see here, again, this is the gland which is there on the skin which we see, okay, and there where the hair follicles comes out. This gland's opening is called as a pore. That is what you can see here. It's not like somebody, I mean, everybody will have these pores which are just nothing but the opening of a oil gland. It's not like only people who have acne have pores. Everybody will have pores. But like once these pores are more dilated or the glands are more active, the pores becomes more visible. And as a process of aging also, the pores becomes more visible. And these patients have more oily skin and they are more prone for acne. So pores are usually present in everybody, but people who have a tendency for acne have more visibility of it. And this can be treated. You know, like we use something called as microbotox or microneedling or topical medications, which can help in reducing this acne prone or the pores skin.
So these days, a lot of girls have these blackheads and whiteheads that they keep complaining about. So what is your inputs on this?
Yes, see, blackheads and whiteheads are again like, you know, if you see the glands here, when there is a secretion happens and then when it dries up, that is visible as blackheads, as what you can see here. When the gland, like you can see here, the gland opening, when there is a cornification, that is like the cells grows and then they blocks this gland. Once there is a blockage, the sebum cannot come outside on the surface. So this gets, you know, blocks the gland, and then this is visible as black color. When the skin surface cells blocks the gland, there is something called as whiteheads. Both are like same. Whiteheads are on the skin. Blackheads are also called as the open pores, or like, you know, the black color, what you can see is the oxidized part of the sebaceous gland secretion, that is the sebum. So we also call this as, you know, blackheads. These are whiteheads. These are open pores. These are closed pores. Closed pores, as you can see, it's like closed from outside. Open pores, it is open. So whenever somebody have these two, that means they are prone for acne. Once these are closed and then there is secretion of oil, there is a lot of accumulation of the oil inside the gland. So this will act as a media for bacteria to infect. So then patients get acne. So patients who get this, first thing we do is we tend to remove them, or we give few creams which can help in removal. If this is treated early, acne will not happen, or the chances of acne becoming more or sudden outbursts can be reduced.
Apart from the face, what are the different places where people can get acne?
So the acne, actually, if you see, like acne basically is a disease of oil producing glands. What happens is once the oil glands are blocked, the oil secretion stays inside the glands and this acts like a food for bacteria. And once it infects, you will get acne. So basically the follicle which contains sebaceous glands are infected. Now the sebaceous gland follicles are present only in few parts of our body. Like as you can see, the face, the upper chest, the back, and also sometimes on the scalp and neck. So as these glands are present only in these places, these are the areas which are affected by acne. So it doesn't mean that like patients only have acne on the face. We get to see many patients who get only acne on the chest and back, or like only on the face. It also doesn't mean that like somebody has acne on the face should also have acne on the chest and the back. So it can be independent, but like when the acne is more severe, all the areas will be affected.
Dr. Harish, what are the risk factors for the acne?
See, risk factors, as you can see here, main first thing is the genetics, and most importantly is the hormones. Hormones, when I tell, it's the male hormones which are mainly important for getting acne, both in males and as well as females. I'll be telling more about that in detail after a few slides. And then stress, again, like who doesn't have stress? Like stress is the main culprit because the stress triggers hormonal changes and those hormones tend to cause more acne. And of late, I'm seeing more patients who do this night shifts. They are getting more of acne because of the hormonal fluctuation they're having. Next is about the food intolerance. Some people have a very bad lifestyle, so that they eat haphazardly, not on time, or like eat more of high calorie food. So these can also trigger acne. The diet, as I told, patients eat high calorie food, so that has to be handled. That is very, very important in management of acne. Next common thing is the cosmetics. Any advertisement people see, they start using the cosmetics for skin glowing, skin whitening, or any random sunscreens, face washes. All this can cause acne. It doesn't mean that like you should not use them. If you have acne prone skin, you should know what you're using, and you should also see that like they are non-comedogenic or they are not acne prone products. So that will be mentioned if it is a dermatological product. So kindly go through that in detail. Don't just go by the marketing or the photos they show you. Next common thing is the alcohol, smoking. Definitely, like there's no disease which doesn't have any risk factor with alcohol and smoking. And environment does play a role. Like in some occupations, acne can be triggered. Even in like homemakers, like once they are cooking, the steam or the oil which that is coming out from the cooking, that also can cause acne. We call them as McDonald's acne. So these are the common or the fewer risk factors which are associated. One can get acne.
What are the skincare mistakes that makes your acne or acne scars worse?
Skincare, as I told, like patients should like if once they are prone for acne, they know that like their skin is prone for acne. Like they should be aware that like they what medications they use, or like the sunscreen, moisturizer, face washes. All this when they use, they should know they're using something which is non-comedogenic or non-acne prone products. So once they start using this, their skin will be much better. And that is what like they have to look out for when they're using these products.
So, what are the treatment options for acne, Dr. Harish?
So treatment options for acne, if you see, like there are various treatment. First thing is like we first analyze like what is the grade of acne, why the patient is getting acne, all this, and then only we can like tell what kind of treatment we can give. The treatment options includes like topical medications like ointments, face washes, like sunscreens, all those things, and it can include like oral medications like mild antibiotics, or like medications that can shrink the oil glands, or the medications which can block the hormone receptors, or the medications which can block the hormones. These are the oral medications. And the procedural treatments what we do at Vitals, like we do this chemical peel treatments when the acne is very severe form or like very active. We do something called as a black peel or salicylic acid peel, which help in reducing the acne very faster. We usually do comedone extractions before doing any procedure, so that like if any patient is for acne, that will help to reduce the number of acne breakouts. And once the acne is like controlled, then we go for the lasers to reduce the acne breakouts, or we can also use lasers for acne scars. So that will help us. Like if you see here, this is one of our patients where you can see we have used just only topical medications and we have done comedone extractions. You can see here, these are the comedones which will be more concerned to the patient. These are the open comedones, are the blackheads, what is it's called as. You can see the pigmentation, that is the dark spots also there. You can see the changes, like, by session, like how it is helping. When we do comedone extraction, you can see the comedones compared to this photo here, it is much lesser. Compared to this, it's much lesser, and see how it is. Now you can see also the smile of the patient who gets back when they like get rid of acne. Especially for teenage girls like her, it matters a lot, like, because it's become a social stigma, and everybody wants to look good, and this acne can make them suffer. So simple treatments can definitely reduce these kind of acne in teenage girls. Now
Yes,
you can.
definitely. It is a kind of relief when you know that your face is acne free, because
Correct.
everybody wants to look beautiful, and when you see a kind of spot or this acne, that is actually disturbing for a lot of people who are beauty conscious, and they want to take care of their skin in an extra mile.
Yes, that's the exact thing. Like, more about peer pressure also. Like, what happens? Somebody have acne and then they would have got some treatment, and then they start suggesting, like, how you can see in this patient. Like, the acne was mild initially, and then once they started using like the medication which is suggested by their friends, this is what happens. Like, it's become reactive, and then it's a nodulocystic acne. For them also, like, see the simple medication, like, appropriate medication once we give, you can see how beautifully it is reduced. This is what we can do when you consult a qualified dermatologist, based on, like, type of acne, grade of acne, what are the other associated features of acne. We can treat it and we can make it much better, instead of waiting and, like, doing home remedies or, like, suggestions by the friends. Once you meet, if we treat acne faster, it will definitely improve. Once it becomes scarring, then we have to undergo a lot of procedures to make it much better, right? This is what we can do with medication. And here again, you can see, like, this patient had, like, too much of acne and also pigmentation. She started using some creams for the pigmentation, but, like, it made her acne worse. So what we have done here, we have done, like, topical medications like creams and all, and then we have done few sessions of chemical peels. You can see how beautifully it is responded. The happiness they
Yes,
get, like, after
absolutely. Yes.
after the treatment is, it's like unmatchable.
Dr.
So
Harish, how long does the time for this treatment take? Like
yes, so
usually there should be a duration of
correct.
the treatment, right?
Correct. So treatment depends on patient to patient. As you can see, like, this is grade 2 acne. It takes, like, around 1.5 2 months for us to clear or come to this stage. And see, like, this patient, if you see, like, we have, you can see this jawline acne or the hormonal acne. These are the tough patients. They might require little more time duration. Like, for example, this patient of ours, like, we have treated, I think, around 4 to 5 months. Now, what happens during this 4 to 5 months is there will be topical medication, we'll be giving them oral medication. See, like, there are so many medications which are available. We have to see like, which this patient will respond. Medication X might not be working for her. We have to go for Y. We have to go for Z. We have to change it. The patient should have some patience, because we cannot, like, determine directly by seeing the patient, okay, this patient will respond to this medication. And see, like, you can see how beautifully the result are. Like, once we treat aggressively, we don't get any scars. See, there is nobody can make out that she had acne. This is like acne prone skin, or, like, she had hormonal acne. We've treated for her hormonal fluctuations as well with lifestyle modifications, not only like acne medication. Lifestyle treatment is very important for such kind of patients.
So these days,
And
everybody you have a lot of junk foods, and they are prone to a lot of allergies due to the dust and pollution. So does these also be a cause for acne?
Yes, definitely it plays a role. So, like, see, in this case, you can see her. She's a girl who's come to Bangalore for work. Like you can see how bad her acne was here. Like she had like once she's not from a big city. She's from small city. Once she came back to Bangalore and started earning, like the lifestyle completely changes, and the food habits and like the makeup or the cosmetic products what she started using made her to get these severe form of acne. Once she came to us, she was literally in tears, like she cannot like go out of her home because of this much severe acne. So you can see, like this is over a period of almost 6 months. We have like done like sequential treatments like peels, lasers and all, and this is what we can achieve. Like it's like much better than what is shown on the photos. So definitely the food habits or the cosmetic products they use, or some patients start using steroid creams, like they can help in making the patient more whiter, as we have the taboo that like white skin is like good skin that should go. A skin which is healthy is good, not like the skin which is fair is good. So that is what we have to understand here. And definitely these like challenging things in acne can be treated very well.
So, Dr. Harish, we come across a lot of advertisements and videos that a toothpaste can be a remedy for acne. How true is this?
See, like many people come with this very common thing they use, like toothpaste or the garlic paste, or like they use this potatoes, all these things on acne. Like, see, these are the cases which we see, like, once they use this home remedies, they doesn't have any scientific reason behind them. They end up getting these burn marks. So it's very, very important that, like, they should like all stop using them, because it will actually affect their skin more than helping them. And then for treating these scars, it really takes time rather than treating those small acnes. So it's always advisable to consult a dermatologist as soon as they see some acne, so that like we can evaluate, and then if we treat it, these complications or the side effects cannot like will not happen.
So even on the internet, we come across a lot of creams and cosmetics which says that you get at least up to 80 to 90% of relief by using those creams.
Correct.
So
See,
how far is it recommended?
yeah, so like you have to see who is recommending this. Like, is the person qualified enough to tell you that, like, it is the cream which can be used for acne? Because everybody, once they have acne and then they have used some creams, they start, showing that, like, okay, this is the medication or this is the magic medication which helps them. Every acne is different, every individual is different, their lifestyle is different. So all this has to be considered, and then only we give medications. And especially this, the steroids are, commonly used. What happens with steroids is there is an inflammatory response in acne. Once the patient applies steroids, this inflammatory response reduces. So the patient thinks like, acne is completely gone. But like once they stop using acne, the acne flares up, and then, to control that one, it will be very difficult. So it's always advisable, don't use any steroid creams or hydroquinone creams, so that like, the complications should not happen. See, you can see here the, like, this girl has used steroid creams. You can see the acne, which has become dark spots, and you can see the hair growth as well. The steroids can trigger hair growth in female. So these complications can happen, and then patients come and tell, like they're getting married, so suddenly they wanted to get that face whitening. So they start using the steroid creams and end up with complications. So you can see here the pigmentation which has happened, and you can see here the comedones, like the whiteheads and the blackheads which have happened after the steroid abuse. You can see the whole face is affected here with all the whiteheads and blackheads. It's because of again steroid cream abuse. Here again you can see it's become red, thin. You can see the hair growth. All these complications can happen. So it's always advisable. Don't go by any any random person telling you, okay, this is the cream for your acne. Who is talking to you? You have to check who is he or who is she, whether they are qualified enough to tell. So then only you can take their guidance, and then only you have to start using the medication. Even using medication is also important. Like acne creams, you cannot like randomly use as you use the regular creams. They have to apply a very very thin layer, because they can cause peeling of the skin or irritation of the skin. So it's always advisable to get a dermatologist, qualified dermatologist opinion for treating your acne.
So, Dr. Harish, what message you would like to tell our audience to keep a control on this acne?
First thing is, what you have to understand, you have to meet a qualified dermatologist, and acne can be treatable. So, and what you have to do is you have to do regular exercise, you have to avoid high calorie food, you should not break your acne. Very important. Acne can be treated easily, but not the acne scars. So do not break your acne. Acne can be treatable. Do not self-medicate, and you have to consult a qualified dermatologist.
Thank you, Dr. Harish, for sharing your valuable insights about acne and how to treat them. Dear audience, if you are seeking for a skincare, Vitals completely understand that you like the best-in-class treatment. Vitals Clinic ensures to provide you with a world-class treatment for all the skin problems, and they are also the one-stop shop for enhanced skin treatments and providing you the complete assurance of the medical care.
So we also have online consultations for patients who are like far away from Bangalore. So they can call us on the WhatsApp number, which will be displayed in the below section. So we can help you out with that as well. Thank you.
Thank you for watching.